Hello everyone, how are you doing? Welcome once again to this video. Today we have this laptop to fix, and the problem with this laptop is that it is not powering in, or when the adapter is plugged in, the laptop shut down, powers on with the battery. So I don't know whether that's the correct information I received from the client or not. I don't know, but we are going to test and see what actually is happening with this laptop. The owner decorated it. As you can see, there's a very beautiful screen. Yes, this is actually good. It's very nice. When you put this cover into your laptop, it protects your laptop against scratches, and it will make your laptop to appear to be new, even if it is older. So as always, we power on the laptop and see what's happening. As you can see, I'm trying to power on. Yes, actually it's powered on. Yes, can you see the LED there? Yes, and the backlight keyboard is powering on. Let's wait and see whether we have any display on the screen. Let's wait and see whether we have any display on the screen. Again, maybe we can try to wipe this dust on the screen. Let's wait and see, because I believe this laptop was reset. That is why it's taking time to show the display. So let's just have to be patient and let us wait and see what happens. Yes, it is restarting. I can see the LED is coming back again. It shut down and come back. So I believe we're gonna have the display. So I think the customer said this laptop powers on with the battery only, but when you plug in the power adapter, the laptop goes off. Okay, it seems like you're not getting any display, or you're supposed to be a bit patient enough. Yes, then I have the display. Can you see the screen flashing? Yes, I saw the screen flashing and it's coming back again. Yes, and you have the display. Here is the display there. Okay, so this laptop powers on. Let's check under the BIOS setup. Let's see what's happening within the system. Yes, inside the BIOS setup, I can see I have the service tag number, BIOS version. Okay, I have all the details I need here. You can see the memory for this 16. Here is the memory, that's 16 GB. This is 11 Gen. Very beautiful laptop with a speed of 2.6 gigahertz. Is it touch screen? No, it is not. Anyway, let us plug the power adapter and see what actually happens, because I believe the customer said when you plug in, the laptop goes off and it is charging. The laptop is charging. So what the hell is wrong with this laptop then? Because I can see the laptop is charging and the customer said when you plug in, it shuts down. So can you send back to the customer and say it is fixed? Is it making sense? No, it doesn't make sense. Even though the customer said it's not powered, it doesn't power on with the power adapter, or it goes off when you plug in the power adapter. I don't think it is right. I cannot send back this laptop to the customer the way it is. At least I need to check what's happening inside the motherboard. Probably I have something wrong with it. I can see it's powering on. I know the customer was not mad. The customer was not bad sending this laptop to us. Yes, I am sure there's something happening. Something is wrong. That's why the customer sent it to us, for us to check, not for us to just plug in and give it back to the owner. Let's see. This screen is full HD and laptop is charging. Yes, let's give it 1 or 2 minutes to see whether the percentage will rise or not. Can you see? I have like that 3% here under charging, 3%. So let's wait. Let's give it a few minutes. Actually, it stopped charging, and the laptop went off by itself. It shut down. And now it's restarting again. Now I think we've got the problem. Yes, as I was waiting for it to charge, the laptop shut down and it restarted. Let's wait and see again whether we will still 35%. So we have waited for like 7 minutes, and the charging is still at 36%. So from 34 to 36, over 10 minutes, that tells you there's something wrong. I believe we have a problem with the charging circuit. Maybe the charging MOSFET or the charging board, the charging IC is having an issue. So what you're going to do, we are going to shut the laptop down. Then we are going to do what? We are going to check actually what is wrong inside. So this model is 5420. This is the Latitude 5420. Yes, the Latitude 5420. So we are going to shut it down and then check what is wrong with the motherboard. So as always, we open the back lid. Yes, the back lid is out. This is a very beautiful. You can see the motherboard, very nice one. This 10th generation motherboard. Disconnect the battery. Yes, the first thing you need to do once you are able to access the battery, you have to disconnect the battery. The battery is out. We also need to open these back chassis. We have a chassis here. Our aim here is to remove the motherboard. You want to remove the motherboard. The chassis is out. Then after the chassis, we are going to remove this and any other screw, we are going to unscrew all the screws which we think it is holding the motherboard. We are going to unscrew all of them so that for me it will be easier to remove the motherboard once I unscrew all the screws which I think it is holding the motherboard back into the casing. I can work from here. I can work with this motherboard while still in the casing this way, but it's a very risky process, very risky working, because I might end up posting some plastic parts of the casing to the heat, to the hot air. That is why it is recommended, or it is nice to just open the motherboard and work on the motherboard on the bench. Those people who work on the motherboard while still in the casing, those are lazy people, and we don't wish to have lazy people in the field. If you are one of those people, please refrain from that. Stop working on the motherboard while still in the casing, because sometimes you end up exposing or heating up the keyboard or some connectors. You will end up expose those connectors to the hot air, and then later on you'll have an issue with the connectors or with the keyboard. Now, since I have, can we remove the fan? No, because the fan is it is attached to the heatsink. So if we decide to remove the fan, it means we are going to disconnect the heatsink too. Good. So as always, the first thing we need to do is to do what's called physical inspection. We need to inspect the motherboard for anything unusual in the motherboard. But since I have an issue to do with the charging, I'll be focusing majorly on the sides which affects the charging. That is, starting from the power ports, starting from the ports. So this laptop uses Type-C ports. So these are the ports. I believe this is the controller for the ports, the TPS. This is a TPS for the ports. As I can see, the port seems to be clean. The port seems to be clean. I don't see anything unusual. The other side also, it is clean. If I can open up this polythene, this plastic, yes, everything seems to be intact. The power line from the battery still seems to be good. Physically, it seems to be good. I don't know what about when we measure them, because we are after physical inspection. The next thing we are going to do is to test, is to measure with the digital multimeter for any unusual component. That will be our suspect, and we are going to do something about it. I can't see anything unusual. Physically, everything seems to be okay. What about this other side? And in this side, what you are focusing on are the components which are responsible for charging. For example, the charging IC which is here. This IC is Intersil 9538CH. The 9538CH Intersil, I can also use 9538H or 9538BH. Those are the equivalent chips. Those are the equivalent charging IC which I can use on behalf of this. But first I need to consider using exact like this one, 3538CH. In case I'll miss that one, that's when I can consider using the equivalent chip. Also, this is the charging circuit. So this is the circuit which generates the main power line. By the help of the Intersil, it will generate the main power line which is sent into the motherboard. Now I can see there's something like decolorized capacitor here. I don't know whether that is the issue. I don't know. What you're going to do, we need to confirm whether that is indeed the problem or not. To do that, we are going to measure using the digital multimeter. Turn your meter on. Make sure your meter is in continuity mode, and specifically peeping mode. Yes, as you can see, I have selected a peeping mode. There is that bell icon there. That means whenever I have certain parts which are connected together, my meter will beep. Other than peeping, as you can see, I know you might not hear the beeping, but you can see the LED, the red LED there, and again the readings. You can see the resistance is almost zero. Yes, that's a zero resistance. So whichever the component I'll measure and have those zero resistance readings. If it is the capacitor, I need to have a lot of resistance. That is infinite resistance. In fact, it needs to write OL, that is open line. If it is a component like what, like the fuse and the inductor, the fuse and inductor will give me low resistance values. So if I am measuring the inductor or the fuse, I'll get very low resistance values. In case I get a lot of resistance, that tells me that inductor or that fuse is faulty. But for the sake of the capacitors, I need to have what? A lot of resistance. In case I get low resistance, it will mean that capacitor is also faulty. Let's start with this decolorized capacitor here. That capacitor, it starts by beeping, but finally it behaves. So it means that capacitor is good. So that capacitor is good despite the fact that it seems to be very damaged. Now, since I have a very good resistor, what I am going to do is to test whether I have the short in the main power line. And how do I test the main power line? The main power line is this. So here, the circuit out of this. So these inductors, can you see these stacked inductors? All of these small stacked inductors, all of them, the inputs, their input, for example, here, this testing point in the input. The input is the testing point before that IC. Those are the inputs. These inputs are the one which connect the main power line, and that main power line is directly connected to this capacitor, not capacitors but the resistor. So let us test whether that main power line is connected to the ground. In case I have it connecting to the ground, it means I have a short in the main power line. And as you can see, it's not flipping to the ground, so it means I don't have an issue in the main power line. And in case I had an issue with the main power line, probably my laptop will not have powered on. Since it is powering on, so it means the main power line is good. The main voltage in the main power line is good. So, but my area of interest is this circuit for charging. So let us check the charging circuit. To do that, still my probes in the ground, my one probe to the ground, and then my other probe to this inductor which generates the main power line of the charging. That one also is good. So it means that one is not shorted to the ground. Now, what you are going to test, what you are going to check is what I'm going to check is this IC, this charging IC. Here I can see I have a resistor here which is written 100. 100, this is 3-digit rule. It means the last digit is the multiplier. So this one should give us 10.2 or 11 ohms. When I measure, can you see I have 10.6? That means those readings are good. 10.6, which is good. Now, but from that, what else? My main focus is this charging circuit. Here, I have dual MOSFETs here. These two dual MOSFETs, I have to test them whether they are shorted or not. The dual MOSFETs, drain to source, it is reading 0 ohms. So it means it is shorted. What about the other one? This one also seems to be shorted. So I don't know whether the short is coming from these MOSFETs or it is coming from the charging IC. What do you think? What do you think? Or you think what I am thinking? What do you think I am thinking? I am thinking of removing this. These MOSFETs and testing them on the ground. Yes, because their behavior, the way they do behave, it is questionable. It is questionable. So I am going to desolder them. And then work on them on the bench. I'm going to desolder them and then test them on the table. That one is removed. Then let's also have this one out. This one also out. Now the charging MOSFETs, the two dual MOSFETs are out. The two dual MOSFETs are out. Can we test them whether they are shorted or not? First, before even I test the MOSFETs, can we test the motherboard? Let us check the motherboard whether it is shorted. To do that, this point to this point, and the short seems to be gone. What about the other side? Now this side seems still to be shorted. Anyway, let us see the MOSFET. That one is good. This one is bad. It behaved abnormally, and then later it behaved normally. Now this one is having a problem. So that one is having a problem. No, that's what. Now I'm not going to put back that. I'll solder back this one which I think it is good. I'll solder back this one which I think it is good, and the other one which I think it is shorted, I'll deal with it. Now that MOSFET is soldered. That MOSFET is soldered. I don't trust this capacitor, so let me remove it because I don't trust it. That capacitor is out. It's very dirty, very decolorized. It seems like burnt capacitor. It seems like burnt capacitor. So I desoldered it because I don't trust it. Once I desoldered it, let us test whether we have a short here still. Man, what is wrong? What is wrong? What is not happening? Or do I have a capacitor shorted at the back? Yeah, the back, everything seems to be good. Now again, this one is behaving as if it is also shorted. Our third charging IC is the one which is creating the short. Let us remove it and then test whether we still have the short in the motherboard. Let us have this charging IC out. I am also suspecting this because if those charging MOSFETs are shorted, there is high chance also this charging IC also got shorted in process. Now that one is removed, so the charging IC is removed. Let us let it cool down a little bit before we test again. No, my IC seems to be good and I have just disconnected it from the board. I'm still having the funny readings. So I failed to get the exact MOSFET for me to replace it there, but I got another one here. I don't know whether it will work or not. This one is MOSFET 6992, and then this one was 69 36. This one is E6936 and this one is 6992. No, they're not the same. They're not the same. So I cannot replace it there. I cannot replace this on behalf of the other one. So let me continue looking whether I have a replacement MOSFET here. Let me hope I will get one in my box. This is where I keep my brand new MOSFET. Do I have it? It seems like I got one. I don't know. E6936. Yes. E6936, and this one was E6936. Perfect. I am going to use this. So let me just put my brand new MOSFETs here. They're good. This one is not. This is. Let me have this in the other side. Yes, inside my box I have different departments. Yes, here I have different departments. There's a department for the MOSFETs. Then I have another department for the ICs. So my department for the, so let me put this aside. This other side is where I can put my ICs. So this one can fall under IC there. Then this other section for the MOSFETs. Now let me replace that here. Yes, the MOSFET is soldered. Now I don't know whether they are working or not. I don't know whether they are working or not. I guess you only have one way to check or to confirm. Let's see. Plug in the Type C. Plug in the Type C, and then I can't see it powering on. Okay. What the hell? Do I have the output power? We touch the power supply. Let us test and see. My meter in a voltage mode. Then my plug probe to the ground. Then the positive probe here. Then I have the voltage. So it means the main power lane, the main power is being generated. So here is the input. Where is the input? Or the input is the other one. So the middle is the input. Then I love the output. 8.5. Good. Is it charging? Let us see whether it will charge. Let us see whether it is charging. The battery is connected. Then I have 11.9, 91, 92. Oh, you can see my meter here. 93. As you can see, the voltage is rising up. This is how you test whether the laptop is charging or not. You put your meter in the voltage mode, then one probe to the ground, and then the other one to the positive terminal of the battery. And that you expect the voltage to be rising up. As you can see, this 11.96. We started at 11.90. Now we are at 11.97, 11.98, and it's keep on rising up. You can see the maximum is 11.4, so meaning it is exceeding even. So this is so the laptop is charging. As you can see, we are almost 12 voltage and still keep rising up. In fact, that is how you test whether the motherboard is charging. In case you receive a motherboard with no screen or with no casing, you will use that method to check to do the testing whether the laptop is charging or not. So let us assemble it and then test again whether it will be shutting down or it is fixed. I hope the laptop is fixed. So let us assemble and then we do the testing. This cable is for the keyboard. This one is for the keyboard. As you can see, the keyboard is going into the touchpad, and then from the touchpad we have the connection into the motherboard. Good. Now it's closed. So let us connect the battery. The battery is connected. Also, I have to boot back the back lead. So I have the back lead. Let me close up a little bit. Let me put 2 or 3 screws. Okay, I have closed all the screws yet. I don't know whether I'm gonna have the display or not. Good. Now let us power it on. And see. Plug into the power adapter. Type C. Plugged in. Switch. Yes, and it is coming on. I don't know whether you saw when we were starting it. We tried to power on when the power was plugged, and it wasn't coming on until we removed the power jack. Then we power on with the battery alone. Yes, after some few pressing, then it later came on. So let us wait and see whether we have any display. Since I disassembled the battery, so probably it will take time before it will reboot and keep looping until the display comes. That is restarting. That is restarting for the second time. Yes, we have to wait until we see the display. For the Dell, it is normal to restart at least 3 times before we have the display. So whenever you're working on Dell, then boom, we have the display there. So let's wait and see whether it's charging, whether there's no, whether it will not restart again. BIOS setup. Can we go to BIOS setup and see whether we have? You're going to BIOS setup. We see whether it's charging. When you're working on Dell laptops, when you see restarting, when you see the restarting, you have to wait. As you can see, the battery is detecting the adapter, 65 watts of the adapter. Battery level 39%. It is charging. Condition very good, excellent. So anyway, let me just exit here, and then we load the Windows. Then we see from the Windows whether the laptop will shut down or it will behave. So guys, when you see your laptop, when you are working on the Dell laptops, and then you see it keeps on restarting and restarting and restarting, don't worry, it is normal. It is normal. When you reset your laptop, your Dell laptop, it will restart several times before it shows you the display. And then I have the Windows loading. We will have it stay for some time so that we confirm indeed it is not shutting down anymore. So once I have it, I need to connect to the Wi-Fi. Let us connect it to internet. Connected. Yes, we're gonna have it to play for some few minutes for us to confirm indeed we do not have any issue. Yes, we are back after like 30 minutes, and the laptop is still playing. And as you can hear, it is still working. We left it updating some few things, and I believe it is fixed because right now I can't see it shutting down. So that is it, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for being patient. In case you haven't subscribed to this channel, still I am pleading with you, please subscribe, share with your friends, and then give us some comments. And in case if you're interested in learning about laptop repairs, also you're highly welcome. You can join our online classes or the physical classes, whichever the module you are interested in joining. Just contact me, then we can discuss the way forward. And then that is it. See you in the next video when we shall be dealing with another case. Thank you so much, guys, and please do not forget to subscribe and share with your friends. Goodbye.